I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter, hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that.
Hold on to the bed. Yeah.
That lawnmower, that's that.
And Gervonta does have a very athletic speed, quick reflex style. So you've got to sort of pressure intelligently. But while I have said in the past, and I still believe this, that Roach doesn't have that special thing like where he's got really fast hands or a really powerful punch.
Lamont Roach reacts to Gervonta Davis's intense training. Ahead of Rematch, Lamont Roach seems to be feeling the pressure after new training footage of Gervonta Davis made waves ahead of their upcoming rematch. In response to the clip, Roach admitted that he now realizes the need to step up his game significantly. He emphasized the importance of more intense preparation this time around. Roach also gave Davis credit, acknowledging his impressive performance in their previous fight, highlighting that Davis delivered the hardest punch of the match and remains a formidable opponent.
How many rematches that you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
It's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't give me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter, hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot. And I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled him. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Gervonta Davis is putting in serious work as he prepares for the rematch, driven by a mission to quiet his doubters and reaffirm his place at the top. With renewed focus and unwavering discipline, he's training with unmatched intensity, aiming to learn from previous missteps and showcase a commanding performance that clearly establishes his dominance in the ring.
Hold on to the bed. Stop.
That lawnmower, that's that. Start that motherfucker lawnmower.
I made the decision to train in DC because, you know, I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute, so I feel as though this will help me. I'm from Baltimore. He's not from DC. That's what I learned. I thought he was from DC too.
No room for error. Gervonta Davis sharpens skills. Ahead of Rematch, Gervonta Davis is leaving nothing to chance in his preparation for the rematch. His current training camp is all about focus and precision, as recent footage shows him moving effortlessly during sparring sessions. With crisp footwork, deliberate motions, and razor-sharp reflexes, Davis is clearly training with intention. He's not just showing up, he's refining every aspect of his game. The lessons from his previous encounter with Lamont Roach have stuck with him, especially the dangers of underestimating his opponent. This time, Davis is pushing past his limits, determined to return to the ring better than ever. Davis trains with purpose and power for redemption. It's not just skill that Gervonta Davis is showing. There's raw intensity behind every move. In another training clip, He's seen unleashing powerful blows on the heavy bag, each punch packed with purpose. This isn't just part of the routine, it's personal. The outcome of the first fight left too many questions unanswered and gave critics something to talk about. Davis is training like a man on a mission, not just to win, but to make a statement. He's aiming for a conclusive victory, and his relentless preparation shows exactly how serious he is. Teddy Atlas praises Davis's tactical brilliance and versatility. Veteran boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has highlighted what sets Gervonta Davis apart in the ring. He commends Davis for his composure during fights, never rushing, never forcing his shots. Instead, Davis studies his opponent carefully, waiting for the perfect opening before striking with precision. Atlas emphasizes Davis's versatility as a major asset, noting his ability to fight effectively at close range, from a distance, or in the mid-range. Combined with knockout power that can end a bout in an instant, Davis's unpredictability poses a serious challenge for any opponent. According to Atlas, when Davis is mentally locked in, he's one of the most well-rounded fighters in boxing today.
Going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses closes those gaps. You know, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you.
Rolly Romero stands by Davis after controversial draw. Despite the debated outcome of Gervonta Davis's first bout with Lamont Roach, Rolly Romero remains unwavering in his support. He continues to view Davis as one of boxing's pound-for-pound elite, dismissing the draw as simply an off night. Romero stressed that a single lackluster performance doesn't overshadow the accomplishments Davis has built over his career. With his proven skill set and fight-ending power, Romero believes Davis still stands above much of the division. As the rematch approaches, he's confident that Davis will return to top form and remind the boxing world why he's considered among the sport's very best.
That people want to discredit Tango, he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night, with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
You want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
Davis's knockout power could be the deciding factor. One major factor that sets Gervonta Davis apart from many of his opponents is his devastating knockout power. Unlike fighters who rely heavily on volume punching or technical precision alone, Davis has the rare ability to end a fight with a single, perfectly timed strike. Analysts have pointed out that he doesn't need to chase the action. Once he finds his rhythm, his power becomes truly dangerous. On the other hand, Lamont Roach impressed many with his poise and technical skill in their first meeting, but he doesn't possess the same kind of explosive finishing ability. As the rematch approaches, many believe that if Davis settles in early, the relentless pressure and power he brings could overwhelm Roach, potentially finishing the fight before it goes the distance.
Push back because Gervonta Davis is a puncher. So the extra aggression, you have to manipulate it little by little. You know, you have to instigate the extra aggression little by little. You have to get your timing in there. You have to get
my pushback.
And also, this is a southpaw. A southpaw sometimes takes a round or two extra to sort of get their timing, get your distances, because every southpaw is a little bit different. Right now, granted, they know each other, they fought in the amateurs, but it's still a lot of years away. And Gervonta does have a very athletic, speed, quick reflex style. So you've got to sort of pressure intelligently. But while I have said in the past, and I still believe this, that Roach doesn't have that special thing thing, like where he's got really fast hands or a really powerful punch, he still has what I also said in the past, a very good IQ. He's very well trained and very intelligent. His thought process in the ring has a great sense of positioning and a great sense of understanding of where he is in the ring and how to react off that. Could he be a little aggressive, more aggressive? Sure, but you got to keep in mind that you're fighting a puncher who's coming from the southpaw stance and coming from the southpaw athletic angle. Personally, me, especially knowing what has been said about Gervonta behind the scenes for years that nobody brings out, and it kind of brings to light why they keep matching him with 15 and 20 to 1 underdogs. There is a rumor that behind the scenes, the Gervonta, there's a lot of bitch in him. There's a lot of front runner in him. If you push him, he will break, he will fold. It starts to add up because Lamont is from the DC area. They kind of know this. They grew up around him. They fought in the amateurs.
His father, who's his coach, has coached Gervonta in fights.
So that thing sort of comes to light where it's been held back from the public with the limited opposition level that Gervonta's fought most of his career.
Rematch becomes personal for we. Gervonta Davis boxer Jaron Ennis recently weighed in on the highly anticipated rematch, pointing out that while Gervonta Davis may not have dominated the entire first fight, his early rounds were impactful. Ennis noted that Davis landed clean shots and dictated the tempo early on, something many fans seem to overlook. He also emphasized that the post-fight narrative focused more on Davis's image than the actual details of his performance. For Davis, this second bout against Lamont Roach isn't just about evening the score, it's about redemption. The controversial draw from their first encounter struck a blow to his pride and cast doubt on his standing among the sport's top names. Davis is fully aware that his reputation took a hit, and this rematch is his chance to restore it. He's not treating it as just another fight. He sees it as a personal mission. With razor-sharp focus and relentless dedication in training, Davis is determined to silence critics and prove beyond question that he still belongs at the top.
Basketball fights. Gervonta Davis draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it the draw, but I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah. And I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating him and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
More than a win, Davis fights for legacy and redemption. Gervonta Davis isn't just looking to beat Lamont Roach. He's aiming to dominate. This rematch represents more than just a second chance. It's a statement. Davis wants to leave no doubt, silence the critics, and reclaim the respect he believes slipped away. For him, this fight is about legacy, redemption, and reestablishing himself as one of boxing's elite.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already known, but the fact that he went toe to toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at them like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Teofimo Lopez highlights the challenge beyond the ring for Davis. Following the initial fight, Teofimo Lopez observed that parts of the boxing community seemed to turn their backs on Gervonta Davis. The controversial draw sparked doubts about Davis's abilities, with some questioning if he had lost his competitive edge. Lopez emphasized that in this rematch, Davis isn't just facing Lamont Roach, he's also battling the growing perception that his best days might be behind him. This upcoming fight will serve as a crucial test for Davis to prove those doubts, wrong and regain the trust of fans and critics alike.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. So all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
The first fight tested Davis like never before. The initial showdown with Lamont Roach proved to be one of the toughest challenges in Gervonta Davis's career. Roach didn't just hang in there. He fought at an elite level and presented obstacles that Davis hadn't encountered before. Many spectators noticed Davis struggling to adjust to Roach's timing and distance control. The upcoming rematch will reveal whether Davis has evolved and adapted, or if Roach simply holds the key to his style. Regardless of the outcome, it's a true test of resilience and determination for both fighters.
And most notably, I'll just speak about a fight that we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hair band in his face or his eyes, so on, and burned his eyes. And in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people were saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be. The fight is over.
Davis's trainer, confident in their strategy. Despite first fight result, Gervonta Davis's trainer shared that going into the initial fight, they were well aware of Lamont Roach's strengths. Their game plan was carefully crafted but didn't lead to the result they hoped for. Interestingly, rather than overhauling their strategy for the rematch, the team intends to stick with their original plan, focusing on sharpening its execution. This approach reflects their continued belief in the strategy. They just need to deliver it more effectively in the upcoming fight.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity,
Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about it.
I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Major.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how's that rematch look like, and then what's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened?
Henry Garcia points to mental factors affecting Davis's first fight. Henry Garcia offered an alternative perspective, suggesting that Gervonta Davis may have been mentally unsettled during the first bout. The absence of his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, could have disrupted Davis's usual rhythm and preparation. Garcia also hinted at potential challenges outside the ring that might have affected Davis's focus. To perform at his best in the rematch, Davis will need to be fully aligned both mentally and physically.
There's no way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Do you think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be. And, he switched his trainer, that's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's, there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter and he's out to hurt you, but hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground, and he did a great job.
Controversial moment in the first fight fuels anticipation for rematch. One of the most debated moments from the initial bout came when Davis dropped to one knee in the 9th round, but the referee chose not to rule it a knockdown. This decision sparked widespread controversy, with many arguing it should have influenced the final score. The incident has only heightened the stakes for the rematch, as fans and experts alike are eager for a decisive outcome without any officiating. Disputes. This upcoming fight could finally bring the clarity the boxing world has been waiting for.
All right, man. Listen, it's been a couple of days since that Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight, and look, you fooled me once, okay? I'm gonna let y'all get that. Y'all got that. But come on, man. This was a money fight, clearly, and also clearly Tank lost. I mean, there's no mistaken identity that Roach landed more punches, Tank had a higher percentage, but when we look at the punches and the punching power, it was Lamont Roach 8 rounds to 4. And then if you take in consideration that Tank took that knee, which count as a knockdown, the ref even started counting. I mean, there's nothing even to debate here. If they were tied without them even counting that, if you supposed to have counted that part, he would have actually lost the fight. It's a win for Lamont Roach. Get your bag. Go out there and say you the only person that tied with Tank Davis. But, man, if y'all fight, y'all better fight for real. Because this, be real, man.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates coming soon.